Hello everyone and welcome back for some more Drag Race gossip, secrets and drama. So I'm back for another Roscoe's recap, and this viewing party was for season 15 episode 6 and the guests were season 15 contestants Aura Mayari and Robin Fierce. I can't use any clips from the viewing party due to copyright reasons, but if you want to watch the full viewing party on Roscoe's channel, I'll put a link in the description. Today we'll be talking about the contestants' frustration at the 40-minute episodes, why Aura doesn't get on with Mistress Isabelle Brooks, and Robin admitted that she was drunk on the main stage. All that and more coming up in today's video, so let's get started. Please note that because we're going to be talking about the outcome of certain episodes of Drag Race, there is a spoiler alert in place for this video. So, first of all, they were discussing last week's episode, which was the design challenge, and Aura mentioned that she wasn't surprised that Amethyst was in the bottom because she had said that she was struggling because she had never used a sewing machine. And this led to an interesting moment where Robin, who we know previously had a relationship with Amethyst, said that before they went to film Drag Race, she had 2 sewing machines and offered one of them to Amethyst so she could practice before filming, but apparently Amethyst never took her up on the offer. Host Naysha Lopez then mentioned last week's viewing party at Roscoe's, where the guests were Sugar and Spice and Amethyst, and Naysha said that they had talked about the fact that a lot of things on the show felt orchestrated, and Naysha asked Aura and Robin if what we saw was different to how it actually happened in real life. Robin said that when they were doing the audio recording for the performance, she was the last person to record her verse, and all of the others were allowed to review the track before they recorded. But Robin wasn't given time to do that, which is why she sung and said, "That's why I wanted to review it." And Robin said that the producer wouldn't let her review it and said, quote, "not the producer of the show, the blonde guy," and it's assumed that she was referring to Leland, and the audience started laughing because Robin didn't know Leland's name. The other host, Batty Davis, made the point that the episodes are so short that we haven't seen much of the show this season, and asked if the contestants felt shorted this season because so much had been cut out. Aura said, quote, "absolutely," and then went on to explain that so many stories have been cut out, and said that if there had been some more shown, some of the decisions made on the show would have made more sense because they would have had more context. And Aura also said that she did explain some of her runway and performance choices and the background behind them, but it just wasn't shown. They then got to the part of the episode where the guest judge was introduced, and this week's guest judge was Megan Stalter. And Batty Davis took out her phone and then said, quote, "Megan Stalter is an American singer and comedian," and she was clearly looking it up on Wikipedia or something, and everyone laughed because it was implied as though no one knew who Megan Stalter was. And then Robin admitted that she didn't know who Megan was, but then remembered that she had seen her in the TV show Hacks and not the high gay thing. Just to explain, Megan Stalter is a comedian, and one of her best known sketches is where she plays an employee of a fictional company called The Butter Shop, and in her videos, her character is a well-intentioned person who is trying to be inclusive during Pride Month and always starts her videos saying, "hi gay," and these clips have gone viral online. And this is why Megan said "hi gay" to RuPaul when she was introduced in the episode. Anyway, back to the viewing party, and Batty then asked, quote, "RuPaul, where is the show?" and said that the runway was too quick. Aura agreed and said that the queens spend so much time and money on their outfits, and they are only getting shown for a few seconds, and Aura also said that it's not fair to the queens as artists either that their runways are so short. And this is something that has been talked about a lot, and I actually covered this in my last video about the season 15 drama, so make sure you go and check that out. I'll put a link in the description. Robin added that this runway was one of the ones that she was least looking forward to because she hated her original outfit that the designer made for her, and said that she had to spend time in her hotel room readjusting the look. And Robin then got out her phone and showed a photo of what the original outfit looked like, but it was too small to see in the Roscoe's video. And when Naysha Lopez looked at the photo on Robin's phone, she said that it looked like something you would buy on Wish, which is known for its low quality items. And the other host, Caramel, made the point that the queens in future seasons aren't going to put in as much effort for the runway if they are only shown for a few seconds. And Aura agreed and said that so much context has been cut out that the audience doesn't even know the contestants yet, even though there have been 6 episodes. And this ties into a tweet that Aura had posted a few weeks before where she said, "Sorry that you guys missed out on a lot of fun chaotic things that happened that day for this week's episode." Aura then made a joke and said that the reason that Drag Race episodes have been cut is because of the real friends of WeHo. This has been an ongoing joke in the Drag Race community, and the real friends of WeHo has been met with a lot of backlash from the community ever since. And Naysha made the point and said that it's not the real friends of WeHo's fault, and that it's important to have LGBT plus representation on TV, but Naysha said that the networks shouldn't cut time from other shows to make room for new shows, and then try and trick the audience into watching it. What Naysha is referring to is that MTV, who bought the rights to season 15 of Drag Race, cut the episodes from 1 hour to 40 minutes, and they also moved Untucked from its usual slot right after Drag Race, and instead they put the Real Friends of WeHo right after Drag Race. And a lot of people criticised MTV for doing this, and accused MTV of trying to trick people into watching the Real Friends of WeHo while they were waiting for Untucked to come on after Drag Race. They then got to the part of the episode where Aura won the challenge, and everyone clapped for Aura, and Aura started to cry. And there was a sweet moment where Aura shared that the reason that she wanted to get on the show was to make her family proud. And she also shared an emotional story that her father suffered with depression and has sadly taken his own life a few years before. And Aura said that she was battling with her own issues with mental health. And she explained that that was why she had a hard time on the show and she had low self-confidence. And she talked about the importance of mental health. The episode then ended and they moved on to talking about the show in general, and Naysha asked about the talent show in episode 1, and Aura said that a lot of people had criticised her talent show for being low energy. But Aura explained that before Drag Race, she had fallen over and badly injured her leg while on stage, and then when she got the call saying that she got on Drag Race, she didn't want to tell the show that she had been injured in case they recast her. So she didn't want to do a dance number for the talent show because of her injury, so she was originally going to do a comedic workout routine, but her boyfriend convinced her not to do it because it didn't feel authentic to Aura's personality. And Aura said that she eventually decided to do a dance number for the talent show, but she couldn't do her usual level of dancing because of her injury. And Aura said that she did explain the backstory of her injury on the show during her confessional, but it was all cut out, and she was waiting to see if they would include this in any future episodes, but they haven't. And that's probably why Aura did eventually tweet about this, explaining that she tore her hamstring, but she seems to have deleted the original tweet for some reason. However, we can see another Twitter user's response to the tweet, and also Aura's response to that, saying that that's why she had to wear flats during the talent show. Naysha then asked Aura and Robin who they got on best with from the cast and also who they got on with the worst. Aura said that she and Robin got really close after the show and they are now really close friends. And then Aura said that although the whole cast does get on well, there are a few people that she doesn't talk to outside of the group chat, and Aura said that for her it was Mistress Isabelle Brooks and Luxe Noir London. Aura explained that there isn't any drama, it's just that she didn't connect with Mistress and Luxe, and Aura went on to say that while taping the show, she felt very intimidated by Mistress because Mistress likes to provoke people for drama, so Aura said she just decided to keep away from Mistress. They then moved on and someone mentioned Amethyst, and this then led to Naysha asking Robin about her and Amethyst's relationship storyline on the show. Naysha mentioned that they had asked Amethyst about it in the week before when Amethyst was a guest at Roscoe's, and then asked Robin if she thinks that their relationship got played up by the show and was given more importance than it needed. Robin agreed and said that she didn't want to talk about the relationship on the show, and she then told a story and said that she had mentioned to Spice off camera that she and Amethyst had dated previously but didn't want to talk about it. And then Spice brought it up during Untucked in episode 1, and Robin said that she had told Spice in confidence and was surprised that Spice had brought it up, but then she said that it's all good with Spice and their friends and it's not a big deal. They then moved on to the audience Q&A session, and someone asked, when the queens are walking the runway, can they hear the judges' snarky comments or is that filmed afterwards? Robin responded and said that it's her favourite part of the runway because she loves a dad joke. And Aura added that they walk the runway twice, once with music and then once without music, so you can hear the judges and they can do their little comments. Another audience member then referred to Robin and Aura as, quote, ketchup and mustard, because they were wearing yellow and red outfits and the audience laughed. And Aura explained that the outfits that they were wearing were actually for a runway that got cancelled, meaning that they never actually wore it, and the theme for that episode would have been monochromatic. Aura then explained that they brought the outfits to Drag Race and were told that they wouldn't need them because the runway category had been cancelled. So instead, Aura and Robin wore the outfits to Press Week. And Aura said that she didn't know that Robin was going to wear her monochromatic look for Press Week too, and they ended up being in the same group. So Aura had to ask in each interview not to sit next to Robin because otherwise it would look like ketchup and mustard. Another audience member asked how the queens deal with all of the energy and attention that they get online, both good and bad. Robin said that she had muted notifications and said that it's too easy for your life to revolve around social media and she needed to take a break from social media. And Aura said that people always say not to look at the bad comments, but it's actually really hard to do that. And Aura said that she also muted her notifications because she was getting tagged in a lot of stuff and said that, quote, it hasn't been a great experience online for me. Another audience member then asked what their favourite moment from the season that wasn't caught on camera was, and Aura and Robin started laughing because they were thinking of the same thing. Aura explained that in the Untucked for episode 3, where the runway category was Metallica, during Untucked, Aura said that she, Robin and Marcia drank lots of the cocktails and they're really strong, so they all got totally drunk. And Robin added that during the lip sync, Robin and Marcia were stood at the back of the main stage and they were hanging on to Robin's spear for dear life because they thought they were going to pass out and fall over because they were both so wasted. And Aura said that the guest judge for that week, which was Maren Morris, came into Untucked and gave a shout out to Aura because they're both from Nashville. And Aura said that she barely said anything back to Maren because she was so drunk and she didn't know what to say. They then started watching Untucked for that episode, and Batty Davis brought up the argument that happened between Marcia and Malaysia and asked if Marcia was problematic and if she was a bleep stirrer. And Robin said no and said that Marcia is very PC, but she does share her opinions. And Caramel brought up what happened earlier in the main episode, where Mistress and Lux's team started arguing with Malaysia and Sasha's team about who was going to get the metal-themed song. And she asked Robin and Aura what it was really like in person. Aura said that she thought that they were all just joking and she wasn't taking any of it seriously, but then she only realised that they were actually being serious when it came to Untucked, and then she realised it wasn't a joke. Robin also said that Mistress and Lux were always joking about things and you could never tell if they were joking or just playing a game. And Aura said that sometimes Mistress and Lux's games were, quote, annoying, and said that they were always trying to start some stupid drama. And then Aura said, quote, that's why I didn't vibe with Mistress. They then talked about the confessionals, and Aura said that it's interesting to watch the show and see what the other queens are saying about each other in the confessionals. And Aura brought up the moment from episode 5 where Spice said that she thought that someone else should have been in the bottom instead of Sugar, but wouldn't say who. And Aura said that she asked Spice about it off camera, and Spice said that she was talking about Amethyst. But then, when we watched the actual episode, we saw in Spice's confessional that Spice was actually talking about Aura and thought that she should have been in the bottom. And Aura then said about Spice, quote, oh, she did lie, but then added that it's all good and she and Spice are good friends. And finally, Batty asked them if they would ever go back for an All-Stars season. And Robin said that she would go back, although it was stressful, she actually really enjoyed the filming process. And Aura laughed and said, quote, I'm not going to say no, but not right now. I'm not over the trauma yet. And Aura then said that if she did come back for All Stars, she might be more comfortable in front of the camera and show more of her authentic self. So there you go, there was the Roscoe's recap for the viewing party for season 15, episode 6. I'd like to give a shout out to my amazing Patreon members, Charlie, David, PC Smush, Ronnie, Becky and Emma. You are all absolute legends and I truly appreciate your incredible support. Thank you so much. And if you'd like to join my Patreon and get early access to my videos as well as other exclusive benefits, check out the link in the description and join today for just a few dollars. So, what did you think of this episode of season 15? And what are your predictions for the rest of the season? Let me know in the comments. Please make sure you like, comment and share this video as it really helps support my channel. And of course, please make sure you hit the subscribe button to stay up to date about new uploads. Thanks for watching and I hope you'll join me again in future videos. Thank you, bye!